be recording the call for those participants who couldn't attend today. And so I'm hoping that's okay with everybody else, that she do that. Yes? Okay, awesome. So Carrie just kind of explained the agenda that, we have gone over here.
Sweet. And can I just say briefly just how to use this whole thing for the best? So first of all, congratulations. You click the button, you're here. So that's the first rite of passage, right? The next is if you can drag your cursor up to the top right. I like to see it in speaker view, so I actually see 6 different faces. You can see gallery. There's just different, it toggles back and forth. And then you can also, there's controls at the very bottom. So if you can drag your cursor to the bottom, you might see mute. So if you find that you're having a lot of background noise, I can also mute you. And then stop video also. So say, for example, I know this is, I'll just be perfectly blunt. So sometimes I need to go race off to the bathroom. So I'll put on stop video and mute, but I can listen to everybody. I won't be doing that on this call. Invite, you don't care so much about that. Chat is an important feature. So that's the bottom right, 1/3. And there we go. We have another caller coming in. Welcome. And, hello. Who is it, Bridget?
Yeah.
Great to hear you. We're just getting started, hon. And I was sharing with them a little bit about the features, so that if you do need to have a private chat, like you have a question, you don't want to interject or something, you can go to the bottom right-hand 1/3 and you can see the button where it says chat. You see that?
No, I'm on the phone and I'm driving, so.
Okay.
It'll be a while. It's about 20 minutes before I get to the office where I can upload my computer.
Okay, no problem.
Stay on the phone.
Okay, great. So I just we'll keep you unmuted for right now, but I will start muting if I hear a lot of background noise. And so Kim, we have, just so you know who's on the line, so Kim and I are on the line, and we have Emily, and is that Amber? Yeah, Amber, and Autumn, and Diane. And I think you were the last caller that actually RSVP'd, Bridget. So Bridget's coming from Central Coast, California as well. So we're just going to get started, having some check-ins. So any other questions? Okay, great.
Has anybody bought their tickets less than $671?
Oh, yeah.
Round trip from San Diego?
No, actually, that was the cost of my ticket, right around there also. I don't think you're going to get any better, but you could just put a TripAdvisor out there and see if your ticket can actually come up a little bit lower. But I would not hesitate to get your ticket already if you haven't.
Okay, I'll buy it today.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Did you want to get started, Kim, about checking in?
Yeah, we're going to start recording now, right?
Actually, I already started recording.
Oh, great. So I thought we could do a little check-in today, since we're just, seeing each other for the first time and getting to know each other. I thought maybe we could start off by sharing either a celebration that we've had recently in our life, or a gratitude, something that we're grateful for, a gratitude. And that could be something small, a little accomplishment, a big accomplishment, something that you want to celebrate or are celebrating in the new year, as a way to just kind of check in and introduce ourselves to each other. So if anybody wants to go, we can, share our gratitude or celebration. Maybe I'll just
and just so you know, Bridget, I'm going to put you on mute right now. There we go.
Everybody in my house, we've had the neurovirus since Christmas.
Ooh.
So I am excited after 9 days of puking. We are free and clear and everybody's feeling good. So that's my small but huge gratitude for the day, that I can end up being on this call, being with all of you, and no one at my house is barfing.
Wow.
The good news, I mean, the bad thing that everybody's taken turns is it's lasted so long, but the good news is that there's always been somebody standing to help each other out. But yeah, so that's my gratitude for today.
Yay. That is something to be grateful for. Good health, yeah.
Right.
I'd be happy to share something I'm celebrating. So January 3rd of last year, 2017, was the day I had a meeting with my advisor that basically started me on the path for the dissertation that I'm currently writing. So I've only been working on it a few days over a year, and I will be defending in March. I'm getting ready, doing all the graduation stuff, and wrapping things up. And so, yes, and before that, the 2 years before that were a real grind, and were not good times. So this past year has been a very transformative experience for me, and I'll finally almost be done with school. So looking forward to that.
It's a big deal. What's your dissertation?
I'm looking at social movement activity online, like on Facebook, and looking at what characteristics are bringing people to participate in that, and if those are the same kind of characteristics that we're bringing people to old school offline protests, or if we're bringing new people into the fold.
Wow. Sounds like powerful work.
Very timely, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I can go next. So I am excited because my boyfriend and I have decided to get married this year. So
Congratulations.
we're looking forward to that and planning for that, and it's exciting.
Very cool. Congratulations, Amber.
Do you have a date for that? August?
August the 4th, yep.
Nice. Maybe you'll be checking out a honeymoon spot with us.
Maybe, yes.
Oh, sweet.
That's awesome.
Congrats. Diane, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was just kind of futzing around trying to get my video up, but I can't seem to do that.
Well,
it's okay. So I am grateful for my new endeavors, my new exciting endeavors of becoming a realtor, and where my daughter and I are in our lives. And I'm excited about going down to Mexico. Having a wonderful time. I enjoyed myself thoroughly and grew so much on the last trip to Bali. And fabulous, fabulous. You know, you get to meet such wonderful women and share these things that you normally wouldn't get the opportunity to do in such a short space of time. And it's just so rich. Very rich.
well, happy to have you coming with us.
I know there's at least one other realtor, Diane, coming on the trip.
Yay.
Yeah.
In fact, what's the gal's, I'm trying to think what her name is. She's coming from New Orleans, yes?
Courtney.
Yes, Courtney, yes.
Yay.
Exciting.
How about you, Emily?
I guess I thought of a couple sort of small things. Even though this weather sucks, I'm enjoying staying warm and cuddling with my cats. That's pretty awesome. And last week, a new season of the X-Files came out. That's exciting. And just being near good friends and family is good.
Sweet. Well, I'm going to check out the X-Files. I remember I used to like that. So thank you for the headlight. I'm going to see if Bridget's available. Bridget, are you in a space where you can share now?
Yeah.
So we're talking about celebrations or gratitudes over the past week or the new year.
Well, a big thing for me was I moved into an office from my home, which, you know, is like so tiny. My administrative assistant had just, like a portable table, a fold-out table. And my marketing assistant had to sit on the couch and use the coffee table. And so, and it's so small, there's hardly any room, to move around. I don't know if you've been over there, but I got I'm sharing an office on 13th and Vine, and we just moved in on the 1st, and I'm buying all new furniture, and the girls are thrilled. I surprised them. I kind of kept it from them for a month, and which was really hard. When I was ordering a printer and some other things, they're wondering what was I doing, and I had to make up excuses. And then on the 1st, I filmed them coming up to. I said, "Don't come to the house. Come to this other place." And so they came, and they saw the office, and it was a super wonderful surprise for them. And we're just ecstatic that we can have a space, a nice office.
Congratulations, because I have been to your other space, hon.
What?
I had been to your other space, so it's really moving up, rocking.
My house, yeah. So our ribbon cutting is the 31st. It's a red carpet ribbon cutting party, so we're going to be having some fun. If you guys want to come, I'll send you the info.
I think there's only actually two of us who are coming from the Central Coast. So Sarah from Morro Bay, yourself, and of course me being right down the road. So Sarah might be interested. Sarah is not on the call today, though I had hoped to see her. She may be popping on a little bit later.
Is that my roomie?
Okay.
That's your roomie, Diane.
That's my roomie?
No, that's Diane's roomie. At this point, I think at this point you have a room to yourself, but we're looking to book that out right now.
Okay. That's fine. And we're flying into Cancun, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I want to make sure I bought the right ticket.
Thanks for checking.
Thanks for checking. We've had one mistake so far. So yes, we booked to Cancun. Mm-hmm.
In fact, what I may do is actually link you together with Sarah offline, Bridget, so that you two will probably be coming in around the same time, I'm guessing. I'm coming in 2 days earlier and leaving then on the 12th.
All right. Right. I'm going to fly out of San Luis. I was going to go out to LA, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I also flew out of San Luis. I think it makes the most sense. So congrats on the new office.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, I guess it's up for me. I have so much to be thankful for. And I think what I really feel thankful for right now is the opportunity to be settled in my new place. I love this. This is like my office here. I used to have 2 different offices in my house because I do coaching and so on. So it's just really nice to be able to have a space to myself that I'm not sharing it with my husband. And I'm able, yeah, my husband. And so I'm really enjoying having my own space where I can be with my 2 active boys. We just put up a ping pong table for a Christmas gift. And it's just been really a delight to have a sense of peace and, a sense of peace in the household. So I am so grateful. And just wanted to say, and I've said before on the call, but I'll just say it today, that I told Kim, can we pick another topic next time? Because all this about resilience is we get to learn so much about resilience. I thought I knew about resilience before we set on this journey. And it's been quite the year. And so it's going to be a delight to get a chance to share some of the things that we've learned over the past year and to connect with each one of you at a deeper level. So I just want to say I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you, everybody. I think, the next, the topic for today that we wanted to go over with everybody was a little bit about intention setting to help prepare you for the upcoming retreat and gathering together in an intentional space. So Carrie has prepared something to go over with everybody today around beginning to set your intentions for the upcoming retreat.
Okay. And I just gave you a little note there, Kim, also. So I'll go into intention setting. So if you don't already have a piece of paper, grab a piece of paper. I think you might find that useful. I'm going to take you, just so you know, we had originally said that we'll be on this call about 45 minutes. This process should take anywhere a little bit under 10 minutes. Does that sound like it's workable in our schedule, Kim? 10 minutes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, super. I'm going to share my screen. This is the cool thing about Zoom. So we're going to set some powerful intentions. And you can use this both as a tool for the coming year, but our intention was, what is it that you want to be starting to work on as we go forward to what I know about going on the retreat? Because what I know is how powerful it is to really set out there what it is that you want to create. Because I've taken women on retreats to Bali and Sedona and here locally on the Central Coast. And time again, it really shows that once you get clear on what you want to work on, miraculously, the right people show up and the right circumstances show up. So what I'm showing on the screen, for those of you who don't have it on their screen, is 3 columns. And the first column says, what would you like for yourself? And we're going to be going over that in just a moment. And primarily in those 4 areas with the first area being health and wellness. So that's going to be running down the left-hand side, which is health and wellness. And actually, you know, when I send out the recording, I'll send this little handout along with it. The second area that we're going to be looking at is relationships. And first of all, I'm going to go back up to health and wellness. When I say health and wellness, that's more like how, not just physical health, but your mental health, your spiritual health, and how you're feeling, being alive, right level of vitality, etc. And then relationships, that's your relationship to yourself, your relationship to others, and it may actually be a relationship to a higher power. And I may mute somebody. Okay, well, if I'll get back to it if I need to. The third area we're going to look at is financial health. And when I look at financial health, it's really time and money freedom, that ability to do things outside, what is it that you really enjoy doing? And then the last area is career and creativity. So I think all of us, in fact, yes, maybe one person, everyone that's going to be joining us are actively engaged in some form of employment. And I'm not sure is it Ruth, if she might be retired or not. So I would say creativity also, because I think that's really how do we express our gifts and our talents, etc. So the first question we're going to ask ourselves, so the 3 columns again are what would you like for yourself? The second column is where you might be struggling in those areas, and how would you like to be in response to those areas? So, and then the final question is what holds you back? And really that's the area that we're going to be working with as we go forward. So that might be your intention. Your intention could be, I want to work with relationships, deepening my own relationship, or it might be, I want to have greater health and wellness, or I just want to be able to chill so that I can be able to give more to my career and my financial health and well-being. So for a moment, and you'll notice that, hold on a second, I'm hearing some feedback. Let's see if that helps. Okay. So for the time being, we're going to just ask you to take a deep heart breath. And how do we get to our heart? Because what I find is that if you can find a lot of answers in your head, but it's really helpful if you're able to engage your heart space. So I'm going to invite you to take a deep heart breath. And how we get there is to think about a time in your life where you felt a deep sense of appreciation, or a deep sense of love. And take a deep heart breath. So for some of you, it may be being with someone, or it may be an animal companion, whatever makes you feel a deep sense of love and connection and appreciation. And ask yourself, what would I like for myself in the area of health and wellness? And begin to write that down. And if you get stuck, take a deep heart breath. And I'm going to take us through a quick drive today, but just asking yourself, you could always go back to it. What would I like for myself in the area of health and wellness? And then the next area is, what would you like for yourself in the place of relationships? What is your deepest desire? Taking a deep heart breath. Think in relationship to yourself, to a higher source, with others, with groups. And you can always come back to look at a level of specificity. Like, I want to be able to have respect and insightful conversations. I want to be seen, heard, understood. Those are just common things that I see. And then take a deep heart breath. And ask yourself, what would I like to see? What would you like for yourself in the area of financial health and wellness? What might be some of your goals in that area? Knowing that money is just a means for you to be able to have the comfort to be able to live with a greater sense of financial and time freedom. So what would you like for yourself? Deep heart breath. And in the next area, ask yourself, and what would I love for my career and creativity, for my sense of self-expression? Taking a deep heart breath. What would I love in the area of career and creativity? Maybe like what Bridget was talking about, a greater sense of having the ability to have an office so you feel more spacious. Or Diane maybe was talking about feeling comfortable in a new career where you're able to do what? Serve who? So deep heart breath. And actually, rather than go on the other two columns right now, we're just going to go straight to what holds you back from having that which you want. Ask yourself, maybe there's a mindset, or you tell yourself, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money. What holds you back? Maybe it's the belief that I'm not old enough, I don't have enough education. I'm too shy, or I'm too much. Take a deep heart breath. And looking at those things that you would ask what you would like for yourself, ask yourself, what holds me back? And take a deep heart breath. And so the thought is whatever's holding you back, most likely is the area where you could use some support, where you could actually create the space and the time for you to move your life forward exponentially. And what I know is from the moment that you said yes to this experience of going on retreat with a bunch of women is the moment when your journey began, really to get clearer about what it is that you want for yourself. So with knowing what it holds you back is maybe setting a brief intention for yourself to ask yourself. So if I could wave my magic wand and actually say, what is it that I would like out of that time together? Meeting with, I guess it's going to be 14 other dynamic women in community. What is it that I would like to experience, to know, to be? And to take a deep heart breath and write that down. And that's actually kind of in the right-hand column. How would you like to be? And really the question is, how would you like to be? What would you like to experience? And take a deep heart breath. So, calling this to a close, writing down your last thoughts. I wanted to see if we could just go around briefly and say what your intentions are. If you could do laser shares, just to the point shares. What is your intention for our time together? And who would like to start? I know it can be a little vulnerable to share, isn't it?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I think mine is that I would like some more clarity about what I want rather than what I don't want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, clarity on what you do want. And so I'm going to invite you during our time together. There'll be lots of opportunities to talk about that, because a lot of the work that I do is about visioning and purpose. So begin to use this framework as kind of a beginning for getting more clarity on what you do want. And what I know is people show up in your lives, or even watching a movie, you'll start to get more clarity about, oh, I do like that and I don't like that. So if you don't like that, then I'll give my own personal example. It's being a few pounds overweight. I'm like, oh, I want health and vitality and to be at my ideal weight. So thank you for that. Who else would like to go next?
I can share. I have been doing a lot of work on my own self in the past few years, and finishing up graduate school. I've been told by everybody it's going to be a huge lift of energy and emotion, and I should be moving to a new town and starting a new job. So I'm just looking toward this new beginning, and how do I give myself the best fresh start possible, and how do I start living that life that I want, shortly. I mean, how do I start laying those foundational pieces now? Is where my headspace is at.
So I hear your desire to be really intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So who would like to go next?
Am I muted?
No, I can hear you.
My intention is to learn more about what I'm embarking on, this journey for real estate. Having purchased real estate for so many years but never selling it, I mean, it's a whole different dynamic. And the people that I want to affect is, women and children, people who are in need, and to have that come forward and, be something that people will recognize and say, hey, this is a person who's not just in it for some money in a business. It's genuinely to help people. And that's what I want to come forward.
Okay. So how can you be of greater service?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So I'd encourage Bridget or Emily to share, but I also want to acknowledge that if it just feels too new or vulnerable, that it's okay not to. But I want to provide space for you.
Yeah, no, I can go. I think, let's see, the biggest thing that holds me back that I've been working a lot on recently is anxiety. And I saw how that kind of like tied into all of those categories. So specifically, I guess on this trip, I want to work on having more confidence in myself when I'm meeting new people. And I think Amber said this or said something about like this earlier, of knowing more about what I want rather than just like what I don't want. And having had so much change in my life recently, just actually knowing where I want to go instead of being thrown into the situation.
Being more directive and feeling more confident. Yeah, I hear that. Thank you. And how about you, Bridget? I think you're unmuted.
I see like a line through her phone.
Yeah, I think she's still muted.
Okay, here. Unmute audio.
Can you hear?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Go at it. Sorry.
Well, I want to get some R&R and just lay on the beach and watch the waves and drink a Corona and just decompress and deflate from the busy year and all of the accomplishments I've had, so that I can come back refreshed. But I also, want to participate in everything that is going on with the program, because I know it's going to be freeing and healing spiritually and mentally and physically, and a lot of things. Once I deflate, a lot of things I'll get a fresh infusion of life.
Ooh, I like that. A fresh infusion.
Yeah.
I think you'll have more than enough time for that. I just have to share with you, when I've gone on my retreats, I get all these creative ideas, and there's just space for more things to come through you when you actually release. So, fresh infusion of life. I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Kim, did you want to share yours?
Sure. I mean, one big intention, I'm taking notes right now. I mean, besides the obvious of bringing a group of women together in an intentional way, where we can help each other, support each other's goals, and help each other really rise in moving forward in our life and in the direction of our life, whatever we might want to manifest this coming year. And on top of it, a lot of this year, and part of the reason I've paired up with Carrie has been to really learn how to run retreats, and how to really do it from the logistical standpoint of learning all the technology, really. So, that's an intention I've had this past year. On lots of retreats, but using the whole Facebook thing, or the whole, the video conferencing thing, that is totally foreign to me. So in the office, relational, can look, see, touch people. So that's that's been a struggle and a barrier for me moving forward in my career. And that's definitely something, I've been working on through the process with you all this past year, and learning a lot from Carrie and doing that. Yeah. So I hope that answers that. And then intention wise, I want to unplug just as much as you all do, even though this is a work trip for me. Being away from the day-to-day tasks of daily living and life with family and kids and work. I love travel for this reason. It's a chance to kind of unplug and reconnect to, our bodies, which is what I'm all about. And from there, a lot of creativity can happen, a lot of life force energy I get from kind of unplugging or changing my familiar settings and people. I'm also looking forward to us all vibing off of each other with each other's goals and learning and growing off of each other. So I'm excited to be with all of you. But yeah, so those are a few intentions, some really practical, some maybe more spiritual. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Thank you. I love what you're saying, reconnect with our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And recharge. So thank you. I think that's some of mine as well, is to, so much of the work that I do is helping women, empowering women. And I'm just realizing that our journey through this past year, gals, we didn't just throw this together in a couple months. We've been in conversation over the past year. And it's been quite the journey of resilience and really getting deeper into how powerful we are as feminine, as our embodiment of being women. And part of that's because of, the divorce I've been going through and making some choices in my life that I think are the best choices for my children. And so my intention is just to come together in a sense of sisterhood and a sense of uniting. I tell people who are on my coaching calls, I learn as much from them as they learn from me. And so really having an opportunity to come together with a group of women and creating a sacred space, a safe space to explore what it means to be in our feminine empowerment. That's what I really, and of course to go swimming in the ocean, and to be able to, the ocean has always been a grounding force for me, a centering force. And so I really feel like that's where it's at. And it's been such a delight to learn from you, Kim. Also, really, I think it's like going like, okay, so where are we going with this? And how is it going to dance? So we have some spectacular things planned out for you. And we don't know how it's all going to unfold too, which is the divine feminine moving through us to say, okay, we're going to, listening to your intentions, being intentional. How can we guide the process so that it can create all these opportunities for you to get clarity on what you want, to create that lay the foundation for your next steps, for you to have greater confidence, for you to be of service so that you can come back to life refreshed. I think all of those are, it's going to be so exciting to see how this all comes together. So with that, I feel complete.
Question.
Yeah.
I was driving when you were asking us to write down 3 things. Can you remind me what they are, please?
So the top is, and I'm actually going to be sending this out with the recording, but the top is, what would you like for yourself? Where are you experiencing struggles would be the next column. And how would you like to be? What would you like to be experiencing? And really it comes down to the question of what holds you back from getting what you would like. So this was about setting powerful intentions, and you'll be getting the handout when we send out the recording over the next 48 hours.
Okay, thank you.
So what else?
About 5 more minutes, Carrie, to kind of go over some of the housekeeping items. And did you want to say a little bit about asking people to bring something with them?
Oh, sure. So we've talked about doing a couple different rituals that would help all of you gals be very intentional. And so we've talked about if you could bring something to the island, a small little item that is, how do we want to say, what's the term that we were using, Kim, that it's biologically okay to be able to release?
Wait, what?
Because we're thinking if we put it
in, you leave it on the island.
Yeah, but it needs to be able to be just something that you can leave on the island that can be released into the ocean, let's say, or burned. Because that's why I'm saying about biologically okay. Like you, yeah, you might not want to bring plastic, something in plastic, but something, just a little item that you can both put, for deciding whether we want to put it on an altar or whether we want to actually do a ritual around it. So something that signifies a sense of femininity, feminine strength, a sense of groundedness and centeredness, whatever brings you your intention, basically. So say clarity on what you want. So maybe that's a heart. So follow your heart, or maybe it's a piece of paper laying a clean foundation. So it can be very simple. It doesn't need to be complex. If you can bring something with you, and I'm sure there's also going to be lots of stuff that we can find on the beach that would also signify. But if you could bring that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that's kind of wraps up kind of our intention setting and, a little bit about, bringing this piece for our ritual on the island. There's a few housekeeping details that have just come to mind over the course of the last week or so that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. One of which is the next process that we need to do is we need to be collecting everybody's flight info. So once you have that, please email your flight information to Leslie. She is the yoga scholarship position or participant who has that position on our retreat. And what we will do is we will organize participants with other participants for their shuttles. So you arrive into Cancun Airport and then pair up with another participant, and you will get a shuttle to a ferry, and then the ferry will bring you to the island. Mm-hmm. So we need everybody's flight information so we can partner you up in your shuttles and order those in the next couple weeks. So again, just send that to Leslie when you get it. The other couple things that I had thought about, one of which, because this has happened to me before, but when you're traveling, you might want to inform your credit card companies and your banks that you're traveling and where to. I have gotten to Isla, Mujeres, Mexico before and have had no credit card and no access to my bank accounts. So, give them a buzz, let them know that you're going to be traveling and where to, so that they, don't cut you off. And then, if they do, it's a matter of making phone calls, but it's a whole hassle and process. So make sure that you inform them so that you have access to your finances when you're on the island. It also might be useful for you to contact your cell phone company. I know when I travel, there is cell phone access there, but you'll probably be paying roaming charges since you're out of the country. So it might be worth looking into changing your plan or upgrading for a week or something like that, so that you have access to a cell phone if that's important to you. Unless you really want to unplug, go for it. You can also give out the name of the resort. And, once you get there, you will have a room number, so somebody can reach you at the resort directly or leave you messages in that way as well.
Will there be Wi-Fi at the resort?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there'll be Wi-Fi. There's maybe some coffee shops the last time I was there that also had Wi-Fi.
Nice.
Yeah.
My hometown doesn't even have that kind of stuff. So
Oh, I know. I'm with you, girl. I grew up in a one-stoplight town.
I just want to also mention internationally what people have been using, like when I went to Bali, was WhatsApp. Mm-hmm. So that you can actually just communicate very easily with people, and it doesn't cost you anything. But data, I guess. But if you're on somebody's Wi-Fi, it's not going to even cost you that.
That's great. And then I'm working on creating a closed Facebook group. So for those of you who are on Facebook, stay tuned in the next, as soon as I can pull it together, next week or so. I've started the Facebook group, but I'm trying to organize how it's all run anyways. And, but our intention would be to get, participants together in that closed Facebook group to start connecting or sharing ideas pre and post trip. So it would be a forum for you all to stay connected. And so stay tuned for that. We'll be providing you a link by email just as soon as I can figure that all out. It's my learning curve.
And I've used it also for a depository for everybody's pictures. So then you have a place where it's a private Facebook group, but if you chose to take some of the pictures and post it on your own, then you could do that.
What kind of currency are we getting? Do we have to exchange our currency, or can we use American dollars and our credit cards down there?
Yeah, there's most places accept credit cards. You know, some of the shops, small mom and pop shops don't, or like if you're, you know, purchasing like street tacos or something like that. But a lot of the larger restaurants accept credit cards. The currency is pesos, so you can, you know, exchange some of your currency, or, you know, what I like to do is just take out, you know, currency directly out of the ATM once I arrive, either at the airport or the island. You will get a better exchange rate if you use pesos. While I'll say it's like an extremely safe island, in my opinion, there are, you know, the biggest kind of things that will happen there are petty theft. So, you know, don't leave your purse like on the beach and walk away. And, you know, when you're negotiating, everything's negotiable there that you purchase. And so people will try to negotiate with you. And so, you know, and just because of the culture and the poverty in Mexico, you know, people will try to take advantage financially of you if you're negotiating prices. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not that quick with like American dollars and pesos, and, you know, they'll try to give it to you in American dollars because that's stronger than the peso. So, you know, do a little research, see what the exchange rate is, just so you can be in your own financial goddess power there. And just know that, yeah, there might be some rates that you'll get better paying in one form of currency or the other. Most of the time at restaurants and like the bigger restaurants and things like that, it's in pesos or, yeah, but they also take credit cards, the bigger restaurants.
Okay, and I guess pack light.
Excuse me?
I guess we should just pack really light.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of packing light. So once you get to the island itself, it's going to be a walk to the resort. It's a small island, but it's a walk on, like, you know, it's not nicely paved sidewalks for you to drag your luggage. One thing you can do is you can hop into like a little carrier service. So there'll be people at the ferry who have bikes and who will bring your luggage to the hotel. It depends how trusting you are, but your luggage, you can put your luggage in somebody's cart and they'll drop it off at your hotel and you can walk to the hotel.
Okay.
There'll also be taxis around there, so you can hop in the taxi with your, you know, luggage. It's not a long walk. It's just hard to navigate people, and there's not like sidewalks. So if you're bringing and I've done this before, but a big old piece of luggage, you know, it'll just be hard to navigate. But it's you know, there's a lot of things on the island. If you forget something, you can probably buy it there pretty easily. And we're going to the beach, so it's warm weather. You know, you need flip-flops. I don't know, a couple things to work out in. We're going to be doing yoga in the morning. Beach clothes, obviously. You know, if you want to get dressed up for dinner, you're welcome to do that, to go out to eat, but you can also go out in, you know, cut off shorts and t-shirts. It's the Caribbean. It's a beach town. It's really laid back. So I'm a fan of packing light, just so you don't have to manage all of your stuff with, you know, you'll be flying, then doing a taxi, then doing a ferry, and then maybe a bike or walking. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it sounds like having maybe a pair of tennis shoes might be nice too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I just looked. It's 78 degrees in Isla, Mujeres right now.
Yoo-hoo!
Nice.
Here we go.
And did you say that's in the Caribbean?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's off the Yucatan Peninsula. So it's an island off of Cancun.
Okay. My friends are in the Caribbean right now. I don't know where they are though.
Well, that's an expansive area. Any other questions, ladies?
No.
I mean, logistically too, here might be another thing that I'm going to pack, but it's up to you. But, you know, it could rain there. And so I might bring a small umbrella or a rain jacket. If you want to go out and be walking, you know, if it rains all day, we'll have our programming and our yoga, but then, you know, it's kind of hard to navigate and stay dry unless you have an umbrella or a rain jacket or something like that. The shops will still be open, the restaurants, but you need to get to them. And so, yeah, so, you know, you could probably buy a rain poncho there or something like that, but that will be something I'll also additionally be packing.
I have another question about money. Like how much cash do you think we might need over the course of these few days?
I don't know if I have a question. You know, what I will tell you is there are ATMs on the island.
Okay.
About 3 or 4, maybe?
Well, let's see. I mean, you'll have to pay for 3 lunches and you'll have to pay for all the lunches, so 5 lunches and 3 dinners. And then any extra spending money you might need. But say if you get spa treatments, you can put that on your hotel account and pay with credit card at the end.
Okay.
So really, I mean, it's food and then any personal items that you might want to buy. And even food can be paid for mostly with credit card at the bigger, you know, more established restaurants, I guess, should I say. So, gosh, it's so subjective that, you know, maybe 200, 300. And if I just have to throw something out there, I tend to like to throw everything on my credit card as much as I can because I get the best exchange rate that way. And that's all these flows at the end of it.
And along with that, I just like to say I like to be able to enter the country, or at the very least, show up at the when I show up at the airport, do a little bit of an exchange, so that as I'm walking out of the airport, I have some form of local currency. So in case you need to get a taxi or whatever, you know, you have something. Or you had talked about the bicycle kind of thing, and so you have some local currency.
But there will be ATMs at the airport. There's another ATM at the ferry station. So once you get out of the taxi and arrive at the ferry, and then there's an ATM on the island as well. The other thing that you I think already said, but I'll just confirm. But the cost of the taxi and the cost of the ferry in both directions is included in what you've already paid. So you don't have to worry about tickets or tipping taxis or anything like that. I will tell you that despite what you read online, it is custom to tip in Isla Mujeres, Mexico. So for restaurants or taxis, because it's becoming so well traveled and Americanized, really, even though online it will say it's not customary to tip, most of the restaurants will expect that.
Okay.
At the American 15 to 20%? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it might be lower, like more like 10 to 15. You know, 20% would be, I think, high. Again, I haven't been to Isla Mujeres in 4 years, I think. You know, and things are changing. Every time I've been to that island, things have changed and it's gotten more built up. But yeah, I have been at restaurants in Mexico specifically where, you know, the servers have gotten pissed off with me because I didn't tip. But I didn't think I needed to. And, you know, I think they're just getting used to it because there's a lot of, you know, Americans and Canadians coming to travel there. And so people are tipping. And so that's been changing.
Okay.
So can you tell me again, so once we get off of the plane, then we're going to find a taxi that will take us then to the ferry, correct?
Right. So you will have a time and you'll know your group for the taxi. That will be done ahead of time. So you'll know who else to look for before you get in that taxi. You need a minimum of 2 people in each taxi. There's a couple choices. If you don't, somebody might have to wait a little while to get in that taxi, or you could end up taking your own if you'd like, but then that's would be in addition. That would be on your own if you want to do that. But we're going to pair you up into taxis. And so right when you get off the plane, you're going to come out to the front of get your bag, come out to the front of the airport, and you're going to look for your shuttle. And we'll give you the name and, what to look for. They might be holding a sign that says your name or the name of the retreat or, something like that. And so then you'll get into the shuttle. And it's kind of like a super shuttle. If you all have taken something like that before, it'll be like a van or a big car or something like that. And then it's, 20 to 40 minutes to the ferry, depending on traffic. And then once you get to the ferry, they should, give you your tickets. That should be all set. So you'll get onto the ferry. There'll be a choice if you want to sit on the upper deck or down low. And then it's about, it's really quick. I think it's like a 15-minute ride, and you'll be on the Caribbean with the teal blue water. You'll see the island in the distance, and you'll just like slowly approach it. And then you'll get off, and you're kind of at the ferry port. So it's a little bit of a busy area. People are getting on ferries or getting off ferries. There's taxis, people calling your attention. People are going to want to sell you stuff like immediately. That's a big up. So from there, you would go to the resort from there to check in. And there are some people arriving early, but for those of you who are arriving on the day of the retreat, we're going to be hosting a welcome dinner at the resort. So we'll give you a time for that as soon as we can, confirm with the caterer and everything. We'll give you a time for us to meet at the resort. We're going to have dinner together and kind of go over, we're going to orient people to what the next few days are. We'll give everybody the schedules, and things like that. So if you arrive earlier in the day, feel free to drop your stuff off at the resort and go check out the island, walk around, get something to eat, or go to the beach or something like that, and then we'll reconvene for dinner.
Okay, sounds wonderful.
That's the beauty in traveling in group, actually. A lot of the details are taken care of for you. So it's just like, okay, I got my tickets, and I just need to show up.
Yeah, and I guess we don't want to get in the wrong taxi when we get off of the airport, because they're all going to try to get us to go to some other place. Remember, I remember when I was
like sell you. Like, yeah, come here and, where do you want to go? That's what people probably ask. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Do you need a taxi? And you just got to say, I have one reserved, and just walk right past people. And, once I hear more from the resort about like the name or what word they're going to probably be holding a sign. So I will let you know what that's going to say. But first, stand outside, find your group of people, and then you're going to get in your taxi. But yeah, they'll more ask where you're going. There's not much to sell to you, but a lot of people are either renting cars or getting into shuttles from the airport.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
So it sounds like we'll just be providing some written instruction, kind of reiterating what we've just talked about, right? So that they could just go, okay, got it. Step 1, step 2.
Yes. And if you get lost once you get to the island, it's a very small island. So just remember, we're staying in Playa Norte or North Beach. That's where the hotel is. That's where all the restaurants are. I'll make sure everybody has my number. Depending on when people come in, we'll be around. Carrie, myself, Leslie will be helping people, making sure you get there. If you don't get there, we'll be calling you or figuring out where you are. If anybody has any questions prior to us leaving, just send me an email and let me know. It's pretty easy to navigate though. So if you get lost, just walk around a little bit or ask for directions. And a lot of people are, they're very friendly and will help you.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay. I think that's it.
Yay! So we'll stay tuned on the more information on the Facebook group and the information about kind of the steps for arrival, and maybe we'll put a couple more notes about to those who weren't able to be on the call of what we're asking them to pack with, like that the jacket or the poncho, and also that item, the ritual item.
Okay.
Great. I look forward to meeting everybody. This is super exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, ladies, for being on the call. Appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you.
Okay.